Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to some more F1 Manager, and we are back with Williams. Round 10 of Season 3. It's our home Grand Prix, it's Silverstone. And we're coming off the back of another very, very good result in Canada, another 1-2 for the team. Something that went right down to the wire. Pierre Gasly stealing the win from George Russell by just 5 thousandths of a second across the line. Are we going to see some more of that here at Silverstone? Who will come out ahead in our inter-team battle? It's really starting to spice up a little bit this season now that Gasly is getting some momentum behind him after a poor start to the season. George Russell does lead the championship by 13 points from Gasly at the moment. Gasly trying to defend his title that he won last season, and we're trying to defend the Constructors title that we also won last year. That is going much more smoothly, as you can see, very much comfortably ahead of everybody else in the Constructors battle. We do have a little bit of housekeeping to get done before the next Grand Prix, which is in 11 days. So we'll get to that in just a second. Hello, Mr. Water. Good to see you. How are you tonight? Right, so we went through our emails last time. Let's see, car part development. We got 2 new parts coming for this Grand Prix. We've got a new rear wing and a new suspension. So let's get those on the car. Let's check as well to see whether we need to build anything in the time that we've got. Nope, we're good on spare parts. Evening, Anthony. We've refurbed the hospitality area. Let's take a look at our other facilities actually while we're here. Boardroom is fine. Hospitality is now up and running. Weather centre is being upgraded. Everything else is already maxed and in decent condition. Car development facilities. We're going through the final upgrade for the design centre. The wind tunnel is almost done. That's going to drop right before we get the chance to work on 2 new upgrades. That's good. And the suspension simulator, that's a way off. That's 50 days off. How much is the final upgrade going to cost us for the CFD simulator? A lot. 29 million. That's not happening anytime soon. Our team hub is 11 days away from a refurb, so that won't be done in time for Silverstone, but it will be done following Silverstone, so the start of a new race week. Okay. So there is the new wind tunnel. Excellent stuff. That'll be a nice big improvement on the next set of designs that we do. Let's take a look at this new rear wing. I can't remember if we put hours into this or not. I imagine we probably did. Let's go ahead and manufacture this. So we've got 6 days. So we can get 2 done like that, or we can rush and do 3, which is what we're going to do. 1 spare should be all we'll need. New suspension coming as well. And a new ATR period is about to start as well. Excellent stuff. So it's all coming together quite nicely here. This one we're going to have to emergency manufacture, I think. Yeah, even rushing, we're not going to get 2 in time, so let's go ahead and emergency 2 of them. Let's put those on the car. That's going to give us a nice little boost to our brake cooling, but not much else. And then we'll go ahead and we'll manufacture a rushed spare. There we go. So we'll have one of those ready for the Grand Prix as well. Let's get the rear wing fitted on car 1. Oh, that's going to make a big improvement to our acceleration. Look at that. Our DRS top speed as well. Look at that. We're going to go from 9th to 2nd in speed and 5th to 1st in acceleration. That is going to be very nice indeed. That's come at just the right time. And now we have space for 2 more projects that we can get started and a brand new set of hours. The chassis research finishes in 1 day as well, so let's skip forward 1 more day so that we get all of our engineers back. There we go. And speaking of, let me check whether I can actually hire any more. No, we're at 15. We are at 15, okay. So that is 3 parts that we can build, and we can put 5 engineers on each, or we can go 6 and 6 and then 3. You know, we've got some flexibility. And let's have a look. What spec are we on with some of these parts? The underfloor's only on spec 2. So we could probably do a new underfloor. We've just done a spec 3 rear wing. We could probably do a front wing as well. That's only on spec 2. And they will have been, spec 2 will have been from the beginning of the season, from like January. So yeah, let's do a new underfloor and a new front wing. So we're going to design the underfloor first. This is what's going to have the biggest impact on speed, so we're going to put all of the hours onto the underfloor, and then we'll do a non-hour front wing as well. We're getting to the point where we're seeing diminishing returns. Such is our expertise in the parts. And you can see, look, we're at 83%, you know, on these individual attributes as a base level. We're going to get them up to about 87. Are we actually making an improvement on... No, we're not. Wondering whether we're actually having an impact on speed. Oh, we are there with the medium speed. Okay. Just seeing if I can squeeze a little bit more top speed out of the car. Doesn't look like it. But we are getting our drag reduction to 90% value. That is mighty. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. That's looking pretty good. So we're going to go with 6 engineers on this, and let's see, when can we get this? We want this for Spa, which is 59 days away. It's going to take 58 days. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. We have been doing intense on this playthrough, but I'm not going to do intense for any future parts this year, because it does make it too easy when you just go intense. So we'll just go with normal, and let's do a front wing as well. This is going to be a bit trickier, so I want to make sure brake cooling... Actually, no. We could do it really improve. Well, actually, no, we could do it improving our brake cooling. Can we do anything that's going to have an impact on our speed? No, this is purely just on downforce and brake cooling. Going to lose out either way on one of those two values. Let's go with that. And again, we're going to go with 6 engineers. So we can go with less than that. We can go... It's 59 days, isn't it? To Belgium. Let's go with 4 engineers. That gives us 5 engineers for a next project, and we are going to need to do something about our engine cooling, so that to me suggests new side pods. Again, we want to work on drag reduction. We want to get as much out of our straight line speed as we can, because it is the weakest area of our performance on the car. Not too worried about the airflow management, because we're improving performance everywhere else with the other parts that we're bringing. So I don't mind losing just a tiny little bit if it means that we get better gains on speed and cooling. That said, I don't want to overdo it. So we'll go with that. That's a nice little compromise, I think. And do I want to rush this one? It's going to take, how long is this one going to take? 36 days. If I rush it, it'll take 24, which will drop it in time for France. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Evening, Marcel. How are you tonight? We do have a point as well for Gasly. Let's go ahead and allocate that out now. Oh, where do I want to stick this? Going to boost his smoothness by a point, I think. George is not going to get a point before the Grand Prix, but he will get one after the Grand Prix. And Oliver's got a point as well. Excellent stuff. There we go. So we've done the hours. We've done 3 new projects. Got some scouting done. So Lewis still out of contract. Who is Paul Bovey? He's an engineer, isn't he? A race engineer. And so is May. And Denise. She's brand new. Let's have a look at Denise. Okay. Pretty low stats, as you would expect. There she is. I remember we scouted her because she was only 29 and we wanted to see what her stats would look like. Let's take a look at May as well. She's another brand new. She's a regen or a new gen. And her stats, well, her feedback scores are good. Everything else is a bit rubbish. And we did Paul Bovey as well. And yeah, again, decent feedback. Pit crew is awful. Alright, so we've got some scouts available to use. We have no intention of getting rid of Diego Tondi, so we don't need to scout anyone in here. Let's take a look at some technical chiefs. Anyone new popped up that we haven't scouted yet? Nope. Okay, so let's go back to scouting drivers then. Let's start looking at the contract details of some of the top drivers, just for reference. Sainz and Perez. There we go. We are 2 days away. Have I got my second rear wing yet? Yes, I do. Side pods are on. It's not side pods, was it? It was rear wing and it was suspension. And we've already got the suspensions on. So nothing else needs to be done there. There's a spare suspension for the race weekend. And there's the spare rear wing for the race weekend. Okay, so let's do our race prep. Given how well we've been doing and that new rear wing, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get at least one car onto the front row, if not both of them. In fact, that is the target, is to lock out the front row. That is the incentive. So the guarantees, we're going to get both into Q3 and by way of that both into Q2. Fastest lap should be a given. Finish position, we are going to guarantee a 1-2, which is always risky. And the streaks are hopefully going to keep ticking over. And here we go to Silverstone.
We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. Silverstone demands a lot of power from cars, with numerous twists and historic turns. Downforce is going to be a key factor to manage if teams want to succeed here. We're about halfway through the season now, and there's still plenty of time for everything to change. All eyes are on the teams and how they tackle the rest of the year. Let's get this underway.
Okay, it's going to be a cloudy but dry race weekend. Nothing going on in practice, quali, or the race. I have no idea which driver is supposed to be sitting out. I think it's Gasly's turn. So we'll drop Gasly out and put Ollie Behrman in. We shouldn't really drop Russell out, given this is home Grand Prix. We should make sure that he gets all the prep that he can. Let's swap out some parts. Put in the older engines. There we go. ERS modules are still on the first one. Gearboxes, we'll put in the older gearboxes. We're going to get 17 laps of fuel for Silverstone. Let's take a look at these sliders. So we're looking at quite a strong front wing for this car. What about the other one? Okay, a bit more balanced. Well, I don't really have a huge range of Silverstone setups, so let's go with a 5.5 and an 11.5 on this one, which is going to be an 8.2, a 3.5 and a 0.7. That's all within the tolerances. So that's George. Let's have a look at Gasly's car. We're going to go with a 6.5. And 11.5. An 8.2. A 3.35. And a 0.7. And let's see how that works. Okay, into practice we go.
How's the radio on track?
Yep.
That's green light. Watch those curbs.
Okay.
Okay, so have we got any rookies out there? Doesn't look like it, apart from Ollie. Yeah, it's just Oliver.
Where do you need help in terms of balance for switches?
All good.
96% is a good starting point.
How is the balance, please?
That's 96 on both cars. Okay. Excellent start. So, a change to the front wing will sort that out. Let's go to a 6 front wing. Let's make a minor adjustment there. And then if we go there with the toe, and let's see if that does it.
Sounds like a spin.
Alright, what about George? Pretty similar. We'll push him up to a 6. We'll make that minor correction there. And then if we do that with the toe, I think, or maybe go that way, perhaps? No, let's go this way. Let's go there and see how that works. Evening, Farrah. Alright, feedback should be coming in for Ollie any moment. Oh, you got a controller already? What'd you do? Amazon Prime it? Bingo. 100% on that car there. It's getting very crowded on the track as well. Look at that. Let's extricate ourselves from this situation here. Giving a big fancy word just for Farrah.
Someone spun out. I think we've had a car run wide.
Alright, just waiting on George's final feedback. Oh, gone the wrong way with George. Okay, so we need to
copy that.
Need to correct that. Oh, you got it from game. Oh, and a spin for Russell.
Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell.
Well, there's someone else off it in the background as well. I didn't see who that was. I think it was one of the Alpines. It's whichever one's behind us. Which Alpine is that? Oh, it's Vettel. So Vettel's had another spin. Yeah, I figured you'd enjoy a little bit of extrication. Right, so the front wing is good. It's the toe that needs to change here. So I'm going to go that side instead. Hopefully that'll correct that fault.
Did somebody spin out there?
Good session, well done.
Alright, Gasly back into the car. Let's give him a good full length run. So we're going to be looking at 36 laps of fuel. That should be enough for the whole session. We don't need to change any parts. His setup is already nailed at 100%, so we can just send him out and be done with it. We've changed the setup for George. Let's give him 23 laps of fuel. And off we go.
The radio is good? You can hear me, yeah?
Radio check, okay. Radio check, okay.
we've had a spin.
Turn 7 is catching a few drivers out here by the look of it.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
Alright, feedback is on its way. Have we got this right?
Any comments on balance?
Okay, still need a little bit more of a tweak. We can do that in the final session. Magnussen's looking quick. If he's on mediums and he's up there behind two soft running Ferraris, that is very quick. Where's that pace come from? Must have had a slipstream tow. Let's take a look at lap times. Yeah, there we go. He's a little bit slower again now that he's not getting slipstream. Even so, though, it's still a very fast time. Right, so that can't go that way. It's got to go that way. Which means that's got to go back to about... is that enough? Let's leave it there. Looks like 36 laps isn't going to be enough. Well, it'll be enough for this session, but it won't be enough to completely run the entire session. That's fine. That's a good run. What are we getting up to? 56%. So we can go 34, 33 laps on the next session. Georgia a little short as well, 69%.
Good session all in all, I think. Still learned a lot.
A few strange results in this one in terms of positions. Albon's up there. Vasseur is up there. I mean, I know that the competition in this particular season has been very, very tight. The field's been very close together, but even so. Right, so we want medium tyres. We need 32 laps. And I'm going to go 20, let's see, 25 laps just to be on the safe side.
Radio check, yeah, can you hear me?
Copy.
Yeah, in terms of field spread, this has been probably the most competitive field that I've raced against so far across all my many different saves. Not necessarily including us in that, but in terms of the AI teams, they really are very closely matched in performance. And we should see that again in quali. I mean, if you take Perez out of the equation, because that's a very odd time for a Red Bull, you basically got a second from 1st to 18th.
How do you feel about doing another lap on this set?
Very, very impressive. So we do need to make an extra click of toe on Russell's car to get it to 100. That's easy done. I'll do that when he gets back to the garage. He's going to get the full 15 out of 15 bonus anyway, now that the car knowledge just ticked up to 89. And there we go, that'll be his car at 100% come qualifying.
We've just had a spin.
And that is practice done.
Sounds like we've had a spin.
Yeah, Magnussen is up there on pure pace. I wonder if Haas have brought an upgrade to this Grand Prix. Or if they're just running a better engine. Let's have a look at engines, actually. Let's see. Let's just pause time for a second. So, Russell and Gasly obviously running very worn components for practice. Leclerc on a pretty good engine. Sainz on an even better one. Pretty good for McLaren's. Perez running a very old engine. I wonder if he's going to change that for the race. Probably not. Bottas. Ricciardo's engine's almost brand new. 86% for both Verschoor and Magnussen. So yeah, maybe they are bringing a performance upgrade. A lot of the field in the 80s or the 70s. Schumacher also on a brand new engine.
Oh, there's a spin!
We'll get some comments when you're back in the garage and plugged in.
Alright, speaking of components, we need to swap ours out, so let's put in the better engines. 92% for us. ERS is fine. Gearboxes, switching those over. There we go. We are ready to qualify.
Okay, radio check.
Yeah, all good.
So that'll be enough to comfortably get us through to the next session. So we're going to take ourselves out of the timings just on the field comparison so we can see how close the field is. Because I think we're going to have a bit of a performance advantage this weekend, purely because we've got much better engines than most of the cars we're going to be in competition with. Wellman, long time no see, how you doing?
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Actually, it's closer than I thought it would be. Okay, we're just trying to get ourselves through to the next session. Don't need any heroics, any super laps or anything like that.
The radio is good. You can hear me, yeah?
Radio check. Okay. Radio check. Okay.
Magnussen getting in the way again. Alright, so this is going to be interesting because the AI is going to be on fresh tyres when they do their second runs. Against our used tyres, will we be able to hold on to top spot, or will Verstappen sneak it from us? As long as we get in the top 10, that's all that matters, and we're comfortably going to do that. Leclerc needs to pull a good time out though. He got held up on his first run. He's got a pretty good track position there. He's tucked up behind Bottas. If he might get a bit of a tow down that back straight. And we do hang on to top spot. Leclerc goes fourth, so he does get himself through. We're losing Albon, Norris for sure, Vettel, Porsche, and Schumacher. Sorry, no, we've already lost Stroll and Schumacher. Perez is out. He is running that old engine, isn't he? Maybe he just didn't get a clean run in the first session. I would have thought he had more pace than that. Alright, brand new tyres, single run. Let's see which of our drivers is going to take pole.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, here we go. The field is heading out. There goes Gasly, and there goes Russell. How do I stream this from my PS5 to YouTube? I've linked my PlayStation account to my YouTube account, or the other way around. I've linked my YouTube onto my PlayStation account. And then I just use the share button and choose to broadcast. No capture cards or anything like that for me. Just straight from the system to your screens. Alright, Gasly is purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2. I think he's probably going to sneak pole here. What can George do? It's going to come down to the final sector. Can George pull something special out of the bag? .126.0 for Gasly, nearly 3/10 faster than Verstappen. And Russell goes P2, less than a tenth. It's going to be another ding-dong battle between these two again.
It's time for the final touches here on the grid, ahead of today's race.
Seeing how they did in qualifying, Williams are going to be the team to watch here. They'll be starting strong at the top of the grid and will have many opportunities to steer the race in their favour. We saw a reasonably good qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they certainly have a good chance to capitalise during the race. We've been having sunny weather here today, but there are some clouds looming that might complicate things for teams further down the line.
This is sure to be quite the spectacle then, and we've got a front row seat for today's race here at Silverstone.
Okay, so strategy. This is a circuit where I don't know if we can save enough fuel. But I'm going to take a lap out anyway. If we have to do a little bit of fuel saving through the race, then we'll do that. We should have enough pace in hand to not really lose out too badly if we have to do that. Strategy-wise, it's close between the two. I'm going to go with a one-stop strategy. I'm going to go hard to medium with a view to amending that if we get an early safety car. And if we do get a late safety car, we've got 2 sets of softs. In fact, just out of curiosity, could I make a medium soft work? I think I might be able to, you know. I could go for a medium soft. I don't normally try that, but we've got good tyre wear with our car because our brake cooling's good, and we've also got, you know, very, very good smoothness with George Russell and pretty good with Pierre. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go aggressive. Let's start on the softs. Switch onto the mediums. And then finish on the softs. And let's go for a soft, medium, soft strategy. I don't normally do that. Okay, yeah, we are ready to go racing.
I don't want to tempt fate, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. P1 today. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position. And here we can see Russell. A second place start for them today. They're in with a real chance. Will their hard work pay off today? Hold on tight. It's the British Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, we need a good start from both of our drivers. We need to break away. Everyone else is on mediums or hards. I don't think anyone else is going to touch the softs until maybe their final stint. I'm expecting a few 2-stops and a few 1-stops amongst the rest of the field. 2-stops will be medium, hard, medium, I think. And the 1-stops will be maybe just medium, hard, or in the case of Vettel and Stroll, maybe hard, medium. They might be 2-stopping, I don't know. But while we're going to have a pace advantage very early on with these tyres, they are going to fall away a lot quicker than the mediums will. So we do need to make the most of them. And with that in mind, I'm going to get them to sprint for the rest of this lap and all of next lap, just to break them away a little bit. I don't want to bring Verstappen and Leclerc along for the ride. Otherwise it's going to ruin our chances in this race, I think. Because once these tyres start to fall off, we will start losing pace quite quickly. As always, we're going to let them fight. We're not going to dictate team orders. Actually, I'm just going to turn the batteries off now. We've got a 2-second lead, that's enough. I don't want to leave these guys without any battery at all.
DRS enabled, DRS enabled.
Here comes Russell. He's going to have a look up the inside. Gasly's going to keep the inside line around the next corner. Ella Lovefields. And holds the position. Or George have another look down the hangar straight. He's thinking about it. Round the outside through Stowe. Oh, that's brave. He's got the inside line here, but it's now the outside line coming onto the Hamilton straight. Still side by side. I think Russell will have the DRS as we come onto the Wellington straight here. And he does. And that will see him finally take the position. Let's take a look at the fight behind us. It's wide with Leclerc. Look how close Magnussen is to the back of Bottas there. It's like he's glued to the gearbox. So many drivers going defensive. So many drivers trying to slipstream as well. It's making for some very strange lines. Oh, and I think Sainz is going to get Verstappen here. He does. So Ferrari get themselves up into a podium place. I still have no idea which drivers are going to one stop out of this leading pack. But there's going to be at least a couple, I think. They're the ones we kind of have to watch out for. As Verstappen retakes a position. Let's have a little look at the back of the field. Perez still in 19th. It's just no space, look. Even Colombo. Yeah, unfortunately we don't get the mods on the PS5, otherwise I would definitely have dabbled with some of those. Specifically the 91 mod. I loved that era of Formula 1. Watching Senna and Mansell scrapping it out. Yeah, the 91 mod has all the drivers from the 91 season, all the cars, the models of the cars were reworked to look like their 91 counterparts. So you've got the classic Cannon Williams, the FW14. You've got the McLaren in its Marlboro livery. And you've also got a rookie, Michael Schumacher, who made his debut in 91 for Jordan. Perez still buried at the back. And he's really not able to make the use of those medium tyres. We head back towards the front of the field. Oh, looks like we got here just in time for the overtake. Ferrari's swarming all over the back of Verstappen at the moment. It's not so much DRS train, it's just that the regulation changes at the end of last season were pretty strong, so the field is really competitive this season. Do the mods enable you to change the design of the car or just the liveries? Depends. There are livery mods which will just allow you to change the liveries. So there's already quite a few Audi mods out there. You can change details about the team, so some people have removed Alfa Romeo completely and just replaced them with Audi with branding. You can the 91 mod, as I say, replaces the car models with models of the 91 cars and drivers as well. Changes the drivers to the 91 drivers, so you get models of Senna, Prost, Mansell, Tracy, Berger, Lacey, etc, etc. How am I liking the 2023 season in real life? Well, we've only had 2 races, so it's a bit early to say. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a cakewalk for Red Bull this season. But I'm curious as to how long it's going to take Mercedes to pick things up. I'm liking the the prospect of Alonso getting getting a win this season. He might need a Red Bull retirement to do it, but depends how well they can develop their car as the season progresses. But yeah, it's too early to say how good the season's going to be based off just 2 races. Yeah, like I said, if we could have mods on console, I would be all over that 91 mod. I would be running that all the time.
Okay, it's recharge on.
Copy.
AlphaTauri looks pretty good for PS5. How does the Alfa Romeo look? There you go. I actually think the AlphaTauri is probably the worst looking car on the grid, or the least realistic looking car on the grid, based on last season's AlphaTauri. The colours just aren't right. Farah's lying to you, Colombo. He hates Lewis with a passion. He's absolutely loving the fact that Hamilton hasn't won. Oh, was that... no, it's just pit stop window approaching. I thought we had damage on the car for a second. Then I was thinking, when did we pick up damage? We're just a lap away from the pit window. We've only pulled out 7 seconds. It's not a huge margin. Our tyres are starting to fall off a little bit. We do still have a slight pace advantage, but as you can see, Sainz is now lapping around the same pace as us. As Verstappen sneaks back in front of him. So we're reaching the point where these tyres are falling away. We are going to come out in traffic, and that is going to be a lot of traffic to fight our way through. What's the gap? Let's see, it's quite a slow pit stop here. We might actually come out at the back of the field here. I don't think we've done enough, so I need to start charging
when you're ready.
Gasly, because we're going to need the battery to push our way through all that traffic. Yeah, I think we're going to come out behind Zhou, because it is a very slow pit stop here at Silverstone. Perez still at the back of the field. I think he's even dropped down a place. He's in 19th. I think he was 18th last time we checked in on him. I know he's running that older engine, but even so, I would have thought he'd cleared at least this small group and got himself up to 13th or 14th by now. He just hasn't got enough of a performance advantage to get himself through this train. Do I think there'll be an F1 Manager 23? I don't know. There's been no announcement. Which makes me wonder if they're going to do some kind of a DLC drop that might import or give you the option to run the 2023 cars in this game. And then we'll get a full 2024 release. I don't know. I mean, I do know from the earnings call from Frontier that this game didn't perform anywhere near as well as they were hoping it would. And it is, in places, it is a little bare bones. But, you know, for an entry into the series, I think it's a good first effort. There do need to be substantial additions to the next instalment. It's just a question of when that comes. I think the initial plan was to do a release every year, but I don't know. Maybe they'll do it every 2 years instead. Who knows? I mean, I said quite early on, after the first few months, I said I wouldn't mind this game being on a 2-year cycle, and maybe getting even if it's a paid DLC is like a mini expansion where you get to buy the 2023 season, so you get to buy the new liveries and updated drivers, maybe add some additional driver models in, but the base element of the game stays the same. I would be fine with that, as long as it's not horrendously expensive. Like a tenner or something. Considering that, PC players can do all that for free anyway.
Charge off.
Okay.
So it would really only be the console market that would be for. Because PC players, I don't think, would bother buying it at all. They could just install the mods and do whatever they wanted to the game. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind this game getting an updated roster, or maybe just some additional features patched in. The ability to start at a different point in time. So rather than just constantly starting at the at the 2022 season, just choose to start at 2025 or 2026 and just accelerate the timeline of the game. Still have all the drivers in there, but just generate all their development and some team moves and stuff like that, and just start 5-6 years into the future and see what the game generates.
Yeah, in the box.
I'd be interested to see that feature pop its way in.
Box.
Alright, so can we actually clear some of these back markers?
Yes,
Well, I say back markers. Can we clear, some of the field, or are we going to come out right at the back? If we can, we're actually going to clear more than I thought. We're going to lose a lot less time than I thought we were going to lose. We have come out ahead of Vettel. That's good. Someone has just locked up. It is Porsche.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Okay, so 20 seconds or so, 21 seconds is the gap needed. Or is, you know, how long it'll take to get in and out of the pits. So when we were looking at it and the gap was 22 seconds to show, that was touch and go as to whether we would clear those guys. Yes, a single race weekend mode would be nice. We can just pick up and play a single race rather than, you know, whichever race it is in your campaign at that particular point in time. Alright, Russell's in the pits and the mechanics are out for Ferrari, so Leclerc's coming in. He's pitting a bit early. He's got to be two-stopping then. We're going to get out ahead of Gasly. It's going to be close. There he is. Oh, Gasly just sneaks side by side with him. And Leclerc just about gets out ahead of Porsche, but he is effectively at the back of the field. Alright, so we are, what, 5 seconds? 4.5 seconds off the back of the shore. Hopefully some of the cars in front of us are going to start pitting in the next lap or two. Like I said, I'm expecting at least a few of those in front of us to be going for the one stop here. But if we can thin out at least some of those cars in front of us, make it easier for us to get through the rest of them, that will help us. And there goes Verstappen and Ricciardo, so they're two stopping as well. Alonso as well. And Tsunoda and Schumacher in the pits. They were behind us anyway. So that's 3 less cars in front that we have to worry about.
Alonso just pitted.
And they should probably be going on to hards. Yep, hards, hards, and hards. So Sainz has got a little bit of clean air at the moment, a little bit of breathing room. Magnussen no longer in DRS range. You should see Bottas manage to make the move now, unless he's about to pit. He's tucking up, but that Haas is quick. And no one else diving into the pits yet, so we are starting to see potential one-stop drivers emerging. Perez has pitted, Porsche has also pitted. That should at least free up Perez. Give him a chance to try and improve his pace. We'll keep an eye on his lap times once he gets out, see if he can actually go faster than he was doing. And we're going to be getting very close to the back of the shore. It's just 2 seconds up the road. There goes Gasly just flying up the inside. And still no one else is pitting. So we take a look at expected strategies. You can see the one stop, the windows between laps 21 and 27. So yeah, we are very much looking at a bunch of one stoppers now for the rest of the field. Ooh, that's a Ferrari. That's Leclerc in trouble.
Oh, big lock up there. Let's take a look at the replay. Watch this. There's Leclerc.
Oh, that was close. I would say that would have been a disaster if that brought out a safety car if he'd hit someone.
No! And the team had such high hopes today.
All those medium runners would have dived in and thrown on a set of hards. Gasly squeezing his way around the outside of the shore here.
This was good.
Great move. Now he's going to switch to the inside on Norris. He's got him.
And there's an overtake from Williams.
Gasly just carving his way through the field there. Not so easy for Russell.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
So close to squeezing up the inside there. Can I box him for sure? Yes, I can. That stops him from pulling out in front of me, trying to get past Norris. And Russell is through.
Nicely done.
Okay, so that's lap 21. Someone's locked up. We've got a yellow flag. That's behind us, I think. It is. Bashir has just hit someone. Oh, is that going to bring out a safety car?
2 cars out.
Don't bring out a safety car, please.
Okay.
Here's the replay. Watch this. We're
That'd be
looking at
disastrous.
Lando Norris.
Nah, it's just a small hit. That'll be fine. There we go. Not even a virtual.
go recharge on, please, recharge on.
Copy.
Alright, so we should hopefully have at least a couple of these cars boxing in front of us this lap. I really hope a couple box this lap. Norris's tyres are ruined thanks to that collision. He's going to be slow on this lap. He's going to be very slow. You can see he's dropped a long way off the back of Vashore already. So it's just Magnussen in the pits so far. Next lap then. But now that does mean we are potentially going to get held up here.
Only can use the deploy.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very nice. And now straight up the inside. Look at this. He's going to get he's going to get the Alpine of Ocon at the same time. What a series of overtakes there. That was phenomenal. That's why he's world champion.
Okay, that's good, yeah, very good.
Let's go recharge off.
Copy.
Oh, excellent. Bottas and Albon both peel off into the pits. So it's just one car between our two drivers again. Sainz still out there. And there he is. There is Sainz.
Okay, we have Bottas in the pits right now.
Good job.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
So is Sainz going to box this lap? It would definitely help. Yep, there he goes, into the pits.
Watch for fuel.
We have saved, well, Ocon follows him in. We've saved about 1 kilo of fuel in about half the race, so we are on target to just about make fuel zero with a lap or two to go.
Sainz in the pits.
Right, so how big a gap have we got? Bearing in mind that we are going to have to pit again. We've still got a good chunk of life in these tyres. Oh, we've got a 20-second lead. Oh yeah, we should comfortably win this race now then.
And recharge on, recharge on.
Yep, fine.
Keep an eye on the fuel, please.
Yeah.
Just look at how competitive this field is. Both Ferraris, one of the Red Bulls, the other one would be there if it didn't have a knackered engine. Both Mercedes, a Haas is in there, an Alpine, and an Alpha not too far down the road behind them as well. And an AlphaTauri. Oh, some great moving there from Verstappen. Gets both Ferraris in that opening sequence of corners.
Charge off.
Copy.
We go back to Norris, then Vettel, Tsunoda, Schumacher, Stroll, Vasseur. Perez is still way out of position. Now you can see that really knackered engine of his at 43%. Not doing him any favours. Lap time wise, so yeah, he's not really been going that much faster at all on those hard tyres. You can see he just slowly eked up on the back of Porsche over a few laps and got past Porsche. So he's got a little bit more pace, but now he's stuck on the back of cars with better drivers in them. It's going to be a very slow, painful afternoon for Sergio. I think Checo is checked out. And we are not really pulling away from Verstappen at the moment. We're just about on the cusp of having the gap we need to retain position. But only just. Meanwhile, back to the chasing pack.
We need recharge off. Copy.
Charge on.
Yeah.
In cycling terms, it's like we're the sprinters at the front, and this is the peloton that's trying to keep pace. Claw itself back into striking distance. Oh, someone's locked up. Who is that? Is it the Alpha of Alonso?
Seems to have been a lockup.
It is.
Let's see what happened there. Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car. Just a bit too heavy.
That's
on
an
the brakes,
unusual one.
and they've
Don't normally
locked
see
up.
cars lock up on that corner.
And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
Oh, side by side through Maggots and Beckett's.
Charge off.
And both the Ferraris swoop through. Trying to get 3 wide around the final corners, that's never a good thing. We saw what happens last year when you try and do that. Hamilton snuck through and took the place from the Ferrari and the Red Bull. In a move that saw Farah immediately throw his beer at the TV. I mean, look at this. You take us out of the equation. It's 25 seconds separating the entire field. After 30 laps, just 25 seconds separating, the entire field apart from us. And Zhou himself is a long way off, so really you're looking at 18 seconds separating 3rd to 19th. That's incredible. That's how close it's been so far this season. We've had amazingly close races up and down the field. Alright, you guys in the chat, pick a driver. We'll ride on board with that driver for a couple of laps.
Watch for fuel. Yeah, copy.
Can be any driver, doesn't have to be one of our two drivers. And we have got our pit stops coming up actually in the next 4 laps. We are borderline going to stay ahead. Should probably play it safe.
Okay, we need some deploy.
Copy.
Give them a couple of laps of pushing just to try and stretch that gap up to about 24 seconds. Of course, that's always a risk that they're going to make a mistake. But they're both very, very talented. It's amazing how often your drivers get taken out by the AI in this game. Yeah, the AI can be very clumsy at times. But that includes your own drivers. I've had my two drivers take each other out before. As long as you can, you know, your drivers have got decent braking stats and you stay on top of the brake cooling situation in your cars, it really does reduce that from happening, you know, where you take each other out. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be pushing like this with rookie drivers in a car this fast, because they would be locking up and making mistakes all over the place and potentially taking each other out, or at least damaging both of the cars.
Very good luck.
Alright, 23.5 seconds. Hopefully that is enough. Any thoughts on abandoning this save and start focusing on the Aston? No, I'm going to keep this one going till the end of this season, and then I might well abandon it at the end of the season and switch it to a private save, and then just focus purely on Aston. It depends. I like a little bit of variety. It's a nice change of pace to have you know, top drivers in a in a very competitive car. But we have reached the point where, you know, we are walking this season, and it's probably not going to get any harder next season. If anything, it's going to be just as easy, if not easier, next season. So, yeah, in terms of the spectacle, it's not going to be, you know, as exciting to watch as the Aston series going into, you know, a 4th season of Williams. So we will finish this season off. So if we're doing 2 episodes a week, Mondays and Fridays, that'll be, let's see, we're on round 10, so that'll be, what, 6 more weeks? And then this season will be done. Or this series will be done. And hopefully in 6 weeks we'll have had some kind of news out of Frontier as to whether we're going to get a new version, or just, you know, like a big patch for this version. Okay, Russell takes the lead, so Russell gets pit priority. Oh, they're both coming in. Damn it. Okay, well, we're double stacking then. I just have to make sure it doesn't try and auto stop Gasly on the next lap then. We are going to see some pit stops for Perez and Sainz as well, I think. Or was it Leclerc who pitted? I can't remember. But this is going to give Russell a nice big boost. It's also going to drop Gasly into traffic, I think. Potentially. Here comes the traffic. Yep, there goes Sainz. And Magnussen. Okay, so a little bit of work for Gasly to do. But he should make quick order. They're cutting through the field here with those brand new soft tyres.
You're doing a good job.
There we go, it's Magnussen dispatched.
Keep an eye on the fuel, please.
Okay.
Staying tucked up behind Sainz. Sainz is defending. Perez in the pits again for his second stop. As is Porsche. He's going to jump Porsche. Well, he was already ahead of Porsche, wasn't he? So he'll stay ahead of Porsche, but he's going to come out behind Schumacher and Tsunoda. So he might not get many laps of clean air before he's back in traffic again. Is it really going to be a 19th place finish for Perez? And there we go. We get past Sainz pretty straightforward there with the DRS.
Very good job.
All these guys behind us, or directly behind us, are one-stopping, or should be one-stopping. So now the question is, can Leclerc fight his way through and catch back up to his teammate and try and get third place on the podium with those brand new mediums? He should dispatch Norris here, and this will give him the chance to try and break away from Verstappen as well, who is currently tucked up behind Vasseur and Ricciardo. Vasseur is on a one-stop. Not sure about Ricciardo. I think Ricciardo might be two-stopping. Let's have a look. Yeah, Ricciardo's on a two-stop. Leclerc is through. What kind of pace can he do now he's finally in free air and not being threatened from behind? He's going to need to lap about 1.5 seconds a lap faster than his teammate. Minimum. Let's see, how far behind is he? It's 21 seconds. And he's only got 13 laps. I don't think he's going to do it. I think the one-stops are going to hold off. Let's see, Leclerc did a 1:29.8, but he was stuck in traffic. Sainz did a 1:29.7. Let's see what Leclerc does at the end of this lap. Ricciardo is through. Verstappen still stuck behind Vasseur. And now there you just see him squeezing through on the inside there. Norris is hanging on admirably here to the back of the Ferrari. You do think it's going to be just a matter of time until he gets dropped. Especially now Ricciardo's going to be swarming all over the back of him. New fastest lap for Pierre. 1:28.8.
Watch for fuel.
As he looks to hunt down his teammate. Okay, across the line. A 1:29.6 for Leclerc. He is only 0.6 of a second faster than Sainz. It's not enough. The two-stop is not going to work. The field was just too evenly matched. They stayed too close together. They didn't spread out enough. And Norris has now been dropped. Ricciardo gets through. And Verstappen is getting through as well. He's just getting swallowed up there. And Verstappen's got through past Ricciardo as well. Gasly doesn't seem to have enough pace to catch Russell. So it looks like it will be a home Grand Prix win for Russell, unless something bad happens to Russell. No one's in danger of getting lapped at all. Not even Perez and his piss poor power unit. Yeah, Leclerc only 0.7 of a second faster than his teammate there. He's 19 seconds off. He's not going to do it. Not even going to get close. I don't think he's even going to get Albon at this rate. He's 12 seconds off Albon with 12 laps, or 11 and a half laps to go. No, 10 and a half laps to go. And he's not lapping fast enough to catch Albon at this rate either. So this is the battle for the podium. Sainz, Magnussen, Bottas and Ocon. And while Sainz is probably the favourite, in reality, it could be any of the four cars. I mean, I don't think Ocon's really in contention. I don't think he's going to be able to move up 3 places, but Bottas maybe, if he can get past Magnussen. Magnussen is pretty quick around here now this weekend. I would say it's probably between Sainz and Magnussen. Bottas is more of an outside chance. I don't really think Ocon's in the running at all, unless, like I said, something happens and it clears the way for him to swoop through. Oh, there goes Ocon. So it's now a 3-horse race for third.
Up and gone straight on. Let's have a look. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon. That lockup could have cost them dearly.
Magnussen trying to throw it up the inside. Ferrari's got really good traction. I think Bottas has got a better chance of getting past Sainz, but he's got to get past Magnussen, and with Magnussen all over the back of Sainz's gearbox, that is going to make it very difficult for him. Oh, Magnussen's getting through. Is Bottas going to follow through? Not quite. Bottas with a slipstream, but he's boxed in. Oh, is he going to have a lunge up the inside here? Nope. Sainz has got him covered. Is Ocon catching back up? He's lapping about a tenth faster. It's very, very close. Leclerc finally pulling in some pace. Oh, someone's gone wide.
Keep an eye on the fuel, please.
Let's just scroll. What's the gap now for Leclerc? 7 seconds. It's, yeah. He's doing about a second a lap faster. He might get Albon. But that's, I think, as far as he's going to go. Just going to make sure that we do actually finish the race.
Can we do lift and coast?
Don't want to pay too much attention to this and forget to check on fuel levels on the last lap. That would not be good. Both our cars just run out of fuel right before the line. It would be a disaster.
No lift and coast required.
Alright, Sainz is through. Can Bottas get past Magnussen? He needs to if he wants any chance of getting the podium here. And the answer is no. He can get an excellent drive out of that corner. He always does every lap. He's going around the outside here. He can't quite get side by side.
Let's lift off, please.
Copy.
Okay, 5 laps remaining.
Another lockup.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Oh, it's Albon.
We
Oh,
can take a look now.
that
Now
puts
watch
him
this.
right in the
Here's
path
moment
of
involving
Leclerc.
Albon. Well, they've lost it. They've locked up.
There is Leclerc.
The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
He's just a second behind now. Another lockup. It's starting to get scrappy. Oh, it's just a car running wide. Schumacher this time. Perez is no longer 19th. He's improved to 18th.
Four laps remaining.
Copy.
He should have the grip to just swoop around the outside, and he does. And there's Leclerc up to 7th. Alright, here's a chance for Bottas. He's got a slipstream here. He gets boxed in again. Another lockup. Oh, the mistakes are coming thick and fast for everybody now.
And that's the lockup.
And that's Teo.
Three laps to go.
Magnussen's got a real chance of taking 3rd here. That would be a huge result for Haas. Anyone's tyres about to fall off a cliff. Sainz has got the best tyres, so you would have to say he's probably got the best chance of getting the podium based purely on that. Bottas and Magnussen both pretty evenly matched.
Two laps remaining.
I'm just sensing a lunge from somebody at some point is going to go horribly, horribly wrong.
Last lap, last lap.
Coming.
So just a couple of miles left for Russell to get his first ever home Grand Prix win. If he can just keep it on the track. Both of our drivers have been faultless today so far. Gasly's made some phenomenal overtakes as well. It took 3 cars in the space of 2 corners. That was a thing of beauty to watch. As here comes Magnussen. Ferrari should have the drive. Magnussen is hanging on in there. Oh, Magnussen takes a position, and that, I think, has just sealed his fate. I think that's given Sainz DRS.
Okay, and that is the checkered flag.
Great job, guys.
Excellent work.
And Sainz retakes third position.
First over the line. Let's take a look at the replay. And there we have it. Russell finishes in first place.
And you can hear just how happy the crowd are for them too. They're on their feet.
So it's another 1-2 for Williams. We get our home Grand Prix win. And Sainz just about hangs on to take third. It's been a hell of a battle between Sainz and Magnussen these last 10 laps or so. Leclerc fights back to 7th. Verstappen did get past Albon in the end, but Ricciardo couldn't. So 7th and 8th for those two. Ricciardo in 10th.
Someone's run wide.
Oh, and Perez's afternoon goes from bad to worse.
So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez. They're forced wide, and they won't be happy at all about that.
He comes home in 18th place. Ah, what a weekend to forget for the Red Bull driver.
And here today, George Russell making British motorsport proud.
British driver in a British team winning the British Grand Prix. Can't say better than that.
What a beautiful sight that is on the podium, and a true crowning achievement for everyone involved.
Gasly looking a little bit grumpy.
And right now it's the British driver who proudly takes his place on the podium. For these drivers, they'll be taking home their trophies and a decent haul of points for their team. A very impressive showing today for Williams.
It's really wonderful to see all the hard work they've been putting in paying off like this.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be forging ahead at full throttle through the Styrian forest. The Austrian Grand Prix is right around the corner.
So there we go. Russell arrests the recent progress of Gasly and retakes the advantage in the championship fight, stretching his lead slightly. Gasly did limit the damage by taking fastest lap. Sainz up a place to third. Magnussen and Bottas both gaining 2 places. Ocon up 3. Leclerc down by 2, and Max, the big loser in the race, losing 5 positions. The 2-stop did not work for the majority of the drivers. Obviously it worked for us, but it did not work for anybody else. The 1-stop was definitely the way to go for the rest of the field here today. And if we look down the back, another rough race for Porsche. He drops 5 places, a couple of lockups didn't do him any favours. And poor old Sergio, just never in with a chance of moving up this weekend. In the championship, you can see the gap does go back up again. It is now 19 points between our two drivers. Sainz in third extends his lead over his teammate. It's now a 10-point gap. Bottas moves into fifth above Max Verstappen. Red Bull in 6th and 7th. They are definitely not having a great season so far. No points at all for Perez. Some big points there for Haas. Magnussen scoring 12 points, nearly doubling their point tally. Into the constructors, Williams with another massive 1-2 sees us extend the gap at the top of the table to 47 points, I think, if my maths is right. It's our 8th win in 10 races. Red Bull, 2 wins early in the season, have kind of gone off the boil quite dramatically. They are now falling very much behind Ferrari, and Mercedes are threatening to reel them in a bit. Ferrari have a 55-point lead over Red Bull, and Red Bull, their gap is just 41 points over Mercedes and getting smaller. Those big points for Haas see them close the gap to Alpine and jump 2 places in the constructors ahead of Aston Martin and McLaren. Aston Martin had a good strong start to the season. They have kind of gone off the boil a bit. Same with McLaren. They haven't really done much the last few races. Let's see if either of those 2 teams can improve their lot. But every team has scored points so far. 2 more points for AlphaTauri thanks to Alex Albon's 9th place. Means there are no teams with 0 points this season. Development point for Russell, who had an impressive race, 21 successful overtakes. But Gasly was the star of the show when it came to overtaking. 24 overtakes, 17 successful defences. He had an exceptional race. Like I said, that move where he took 3 cars in the space of 2 corners was just sublime. Absolutely sublime. We hit all of our sponsor payouts, and we complete our finish position streak. So we'll get a new one of those at the next Grand Prix. And our team hub is now fully refurbed as well. So let's go ahead and allocate that point to Russell. We'll give him a little boost to his cornering. Ollie gets a new point as well. We'll up his braking. That gets him up to a 74. Do we have any points for our staff? We do for Tondi. Okay, what do we want to improve? Let's get his cooling nice and high. We do need to start thinking about potentially doing some research projects again. We've done one, but we probably do need to do a couple more. Although this series will probably end, I will continue to play this file in the background, and I don't want to completely shaft myself for next season. So I've got to pay attention to that. Board now have high confidence in our leadership. We'll check in with the board in a second. Let's just finish the emails off. There is our monthly car development. Top speed still needs a bit of work. Brake cooling and engine cooling also need some work, but we are developing some parts that will hopefully address some of those issues. We are very strong everywhere else. Let's go check in with the board. Another delighted race. It's good to see that. We are well on target for both of our objectives, Constructors' Championship and Drivers' Championship as well. Now, we do have some money to spend as well, so let's go ahead and see. It's 29 mil for the CFD, it's 27 for the wind tunnel, so we're still a little short on those. Car park test centre is 15 mil. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. And we are 4 days away from the next Grand Prix, which is the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. And we will be heading there on Monday. So that's it for tonight. Another comfortable race for us, but definitely a bit of drama, a bit of excitement, if not a huge amount of overtaking in the battles behind us. It'll be interesting to see what happens at Austria with those DRS zones, those 3 DRS zones back to back. I think we're going to run away with this one again, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of the field. So until then, thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.